Alright guys, Suzuki Sx4 front wheel drive. This is a 2-liter. We're gonna be taking out the transmission here. This is a DIY. Make sure to watch my previous video because we're taking out the transmission because of the crank sensor is behind the flywheel, and it's like in between the transmission and the engine, so we had to take out the transmission out away from the engine. So that means we had to take out the wheels, the suspension, the brakes, everything will attach to the transmission right on the top here and the bottom. So first we're gonna take out the battery cable, the hold down cable right there, the hold down battery right here, take those out. And after that we're gonna take out everything around here. This intake, it's a bracket right here for the ACU, the tray for the battery, anything on this area. Let's make some room. So let's quickly do that. Let's fast forward everything, and then after that we'll show you what's going on, see how much we can trim around this transmission, and then we'll start working on this side after. Got the battery out. I'm gonna be taking out the tray, and there's a tray right here. We got this block heater cord is on the way, so we'll take that out as well. The fuse block right here. Take this out from the bracket of the battery tray. 4 bolts right there, looks like 10 mil. We'll take those out quick. Alright, we got the ACU right here. We're gonna disconnect the ACU connector. Alright, so it's gonna push this bar down while you're pressing that tabs in the middle. Alright, put this on the side. Alright, we're gonna be taking out this harness, transmission harness right here. I got the bolt out already, but first we're gonna take out this shifter cable bracket, and then the end of this cable, there's a pin right there. We're gonna be taking out that pin, and we'll take out that cable quick. There's a clip right there. We're gonna take out that clip. We just use a flat screwdriver on this one. So here's the clip I'm talking about. We're just gonna pry this open. Just be careful, okay? Don't lose this clip. There we go. Here's the clip, and then we're just gonna push this cable up away from that pin, and then there it is. It's out. All right, so this cable, there's a bracket, 2 12 mil bolt right there. We'll take out that 2 bolts, so the whole shifter cable will come out together with the bracket. And there's the bracket right there with the cable. Just put that on the side. And like always, I always put the bolt back on here so that in the future it's easy for me to find that bolt. I'm just gonna quickly take out this harness right here. There's just follow the wire, just unplug anything that connects to the harness, the bracket, especially the bracket. There's a sensor right there. There's a sensor at the back right there, and then there's a couple sensor right here, and there's one down there. So we'll do that later when we go underneath, because we had to take out the under shield on this. So just work everything up on the top, and then we'll jack up the vehicle later, and we'll start working underneath the vehicle after. Alright guys, so I got all the harness out from the transmission now. This harness right here will stay with the transmission, but the transmission harness and the engine harness right there is away from the transmission. This will stay with the vehicle. So sensor right there, sensor right here, disconnect the harness, big fat connector right there. This will stay with the transmission. There's 2 transmission cooler line hose right there. We're gonna disconnect that. Okay. And you can see right here, Muhammad's doing the suspension and the brakes on this side. He's taking out the CB axle already, not working on the 2 bolts right here on the struts. We're gonna be taking out this whole suspension out right here and brakes, and then we could take out this CB axle out because the whole transmission will come out on this side. All right, so finally we got the 2 bolts right here for the lower struts. We get the bolts on the brake hose, ABS sensor. Make sure it's discontinued. You want to break that. We keep the lower bolt joint on, the outer tie rod on. So we're gonna be pushing this CB axle out now. It's slowly coming out. See how that gap right there? We're gonna take out the stove, and then we're gonna be working underneath to take out the engine shield after. All right, we're gonna take out the CB axle now from the transmission. We'll pull this thing out. All right, we're gonna take out the shield under the engine so that we have lots of room to work underneath, because we're gonna put a pry bar underneath the CB axle here from the bottom and up, so we could pop that CB axle out. Alright guys, finally we get that thing out. We use this flat pry bar right here, pop it out, and then now it's out like this. So go ahead, pull that thing out now. Make sure catch the oil. There we go, catch the oil.
The CVS one.
CVS oil is out, so we're gonna be filling up with oil after when we're done. So don't worry about that. We're just gonna let it drip. So this side's good. We're gonna be taking out this shield all the way down here. Take out the shield, and then we'll be working underneath the transmission. Right. So next, after working underneath, taking the CV axle, there is a bar underneath the engine and transmission. There's 2 bolts right there already. We took it out. Right there, 2 bolts. We had to take out that bar where that front engine mount sits on, and we're gonna take out the engine mount as well. And now we're gonna work on the other side of the bar. At the back there, there's 2 bolts, and this is the bar right there. So those 2 bolts, we're gonna take those out and then take out that bar. All right, so on this side, we're gonna have to take out this CV axle on this side because the intermediate shaft is stuck with the transmission. So you can see the shocks is bad right there. We're gonna replace that shock. It's all wet down there. So
I start for this one.
yeah, we'll take all those out. We're gonna loosen up so that we could go underneath here. I'll show you underneath. That bar I'm talking about earlier is right here. This bar right there. The front mount is loose. The 2 bolts is loose. You can see it's moving. And this side of here, the bolt is loose, but it's not coming out yet. And then we're gonna be taking out the CV axle right there. And then there's an intermediate shaft right here, right in the middle. Going to the right in the middle, right there. Going to the transmission. We'll take that out as well. Go ahead. Alright, it's out.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, just like that. Alright, so we're gonna pry out this CV axle from the transmission now. We got the out one on the knuckle. We'll take this one out from this side. Okay, bro, it's up. Okay, so you can see we got the CV axle out. That's an intermediate shaft right there. We're gonna have to take that out. There's a couple bolts up on the top to take out the intermediate shaft way down here. And we still have to take out this bar right here first, so that we could easily take out the intermediate shaft. So to me, like, we're gonna have to take out this crossbar. 2 bolts right there, and then 2 bolts on the other side right there, so that we could take out this bar in the middle. And after that, we have lots of room to work that intermediate shaft right to the back of the engine. Alright guys, so to take out this bar in the middle, it's loose already. 2 bolts is out. We're gonna take out this 2 bolts right here. They're 14 mil, and then 1 right there, 14 mil, so 3 total. 3 total right here. It's out already, it's hanging. Okay, there's that lower rod mount right there, it's hanging. We're gonna take out the last one. There you go. Alright guys, so here's the upper front bar right there, it's out. And then you can see this is the one I'm talking about right here. It's out. So we could easily take out the nuts and bolts right here on top of this bar. Guys, so we are on the passenger side here. See that intermediate shaft, and then up on the top there's a bracket with 3 bolts. Those bolts are 14 mil. We're gonna take those out, and then we're gonna take out this intermediate shaft after. Alright guys, so that's out. We're gonna have to pull this thing out. We're just gonna use a hammer and a rod. We're gonna pull that thing out because it's all stuck in there. Alright, so after taking it out, make sure to catch the oil, okay? Alright, back on the passenger side, there's a engine mount at the back with that bracket right there. That bracket has to go out because the bracket is bolted to the block of the engine and then bolted to the transmission. So we're gonna have to take those out, and then this transmission will be ready to go. Okay, next one. Up here. Up on the top is the next one. Yeah, there you go.
Like that.
Yep. All right, good job, bro. Now we're gonna zip them off. Those 2 big bolts. Just 2 of those. That's it. Yeah, so you can see that bolt is gone right there, and then the bolt up here is gone as well. So that holds the transmission at the back. So hopefully that's it for the transmission. Maybe the starter up there, we're gonna have to take it out. So start taking out the bolt down there now, bro. Yeah, those bolts down there, start taking it out. Okay, there's 3 bolts down there, and then 1 on the front, and then we'll start working on the top after.